Recording in progress.
Right. Okay, Lamai. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Right. Okay, Lamai. Yeah. We are in the process of completing consumer surplus and producer surplus. Consumer surplus and producer surplus. Okay, the Lamai. Right. Right. Look at the board, Lamai. This is equilibrium price. You know now the equilibrium demand, supply, and point. Here, equilibrium price, assume equilibrium price is P naught and quantity Q naught. Okay, the Lamai. There are two concepts called consumer surplus and producer surplus. But consumer surplus and producer surplus. Now, my surplus means simple idea is benefit. Plus mean benefit. Whose benefits here? Consumers benefit. Here, producers benefit. Example, last day I explained. Consumer gets an advantage or benefit from the market equilibrium, right? That advantage is shown by this triangle which is above the equilibrium price and below the demand curve. This triangle shows the consumer surplus, area of consumer. Okay, the area of this I explain everything, right? The theory part and calculation. Okay, Lama. This is called consumer surplus. Consumer. Okay, the Lama. Consumer gets this advantage due to look at the board. Consumer is willing to pay an even higher price. This demand curve shows the maximum prices that consumers are willing and able to pay to buy goods and services. Consumers are willing to pay the prices shown by demand curve. But when he goes to the market, actual price, so the price that goods and services are being sold is P1. P1 mean equilibrium price. They are willing to pay higher price, but they can buy products, actually they can pay a lower price than expected. So this benefit is called consumer surplus. Okay, the Laman. Right. Today, producer surplus, Laman. Producer surplus. Okay. Kalana, are you okay, right? You okay with this?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Today topic is producer surplus. इसमें क्या होने लगा? एक producers. Right. What is mean by surplus, Lamai? Kalana?
Benefit.
Benefit. Sanuli, whose benefits we are going to talk about?
Producer, the supplier.
Producers benefit. Producers benefit. Right? Yes, of course. Producer gets a benefit from market equilibrium. From where? Market equilibrium. When a market is in equilibrium, producer has some benefits, Laman. Okay? Producer gets these benefits. Look at the board. This is price axis, quantity axis, 0. Demand curve and supply curve. Nathan, what is this price, Lamai? Equilibrium price. Assume equilibrium price is 20 rupees and quantity is 100 units. Okay, Lamai? Right. It means now this product is being sold at 20 rupees. How much? 20 rupees. It means consumer pays 20 rupees and also producer gets 20 rupees per unit, right? Per unit. Right. I'll take 1 point on the supply curve, right? At this point, Lama, I assume price is 15 rupees, quantity is 60 units. 60 units. Okay, assume this point is A, point A, price and quantity supplied. My question, Alana, what does it mean? What does this point indicate? The point on the supply curve, what does it indicate? What does it show? How to explain this point? Alana, are you there?
Yeah, sir.
How to explain this point? What does it mean, Lamai? Yeah, it's simple. Sanuli, how does it explain?
Producers are willing to sell 60 units at 15 rupees.
Yes, simple way we can say, Lamai, producers are willing to sell or supply how many units? 60 units at price 15. So this price 15 is called producers minimum expectation. Remember that word, right? What is that? Producers minimum expectation. Minimum expectation. Minimum expectation. This is called my variable cost of production. There's a separate lesson for cost of production. Don't worry about that. This minimum price equals a variable cost. Variable cost of production. Right, anyway. Here, producer is willing to supply 60 units. No issue. His expectation is how much, Lamai? This is called minimum expectation. It means willing to supply 60 units if he gets 60 at 15 rupees per unit. That's a minimum expectation. If he doesn't receive 15 rupees, will he supply goods to the market? No. Minimum expectation is 15 rupees. Right. When he goes to the market, this is a minimum expectation, Lamai. When he goes to the market, the product is being sold at 20 rupees. How much does he expect? 50. How much the actual price he gets, Lamai? 20. Is there any benefit? Yes. Minimum expectation 15. But he actually gets, Lamai, how much? Receive 20 rupees. So this gap shows the benefit. Did you get the point? 1 point, right? I'll take another point. Alana, is it clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dipna?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Take another point, Lamai. Assume here price is 18 rupees, quantity is 80 units. What does this point mean? Producers are willing to supply how many units, Lamai? 80 units at price 80. It means, Lamai, consumers are willing to supply 80 units if they receive at least, Lamai, how much? 18 rupees. They minimum, right? They expect minimum 18 rupees. If they don't receive 18 rupees, Lamai, no supply at all. Okay, the Lamai. So his minimum expectation is 18 rupees, but when he goes to the market, you can see the price is being sold at 20 rupees. Does he have a benefit, Lamai? So remember, Lamai, this entire triangle, which color is more suitable one, Lamai? Black? This entire triangle shows the value of producer surplus. Producer surplus means the benefit of producer getting from market equilibrium. Okay, because he is willing to receive a lower price than what actually receives them, right? So this is called producer, right? Uh, shall we write down the definition, Lamai, for producer surplus? Any doubt, Sanuli?
No, sir.
No.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Daru.
So why the starting point of the supply curve is below the 15?
What did you ask?
Why the starting point of the supply curve is below the 15 rupees?
Below the 15 rupees. That is called minimum supply price. Can you remember?
Yes, but 15 is above the starting point of the supply
Yes,
curve.
yes. Because I have taken the one point on the supply curve. That point is above the minimum supply price. Minimum supply price might be 10 rupees here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Dalamai. Give me 1 minute, Lamai. Write down the definition, Lamai. Producer surplus. Producer surplus. Then remember, Lamai, this. How does producer get this benefit, Lamai? How does producer get this benefit? Yes, Lamai. He expects less, but he actually receives more than what he. Did you get the point? Yes. Put a star mark and write down. This is the definition. Thus, it's a technically perfect definition, Lamai. Write it down. Write down. This is the aggregate value. This is the aggregate value. Aggregate value. Aggregate value of the positive difference. Of the positive difference. Of the positive difference. Of the positive difference between positive differences between positive differences between the minimum prices, the minimum prices, the minimum prices, the minimum prices that a producer, minimum prices that a producer is expecting, is expecting, is expecting for a product, for a product, for a product, and the actual price number, and the actual price, and actual price, and the actual price received, actual price received in the market, in the market, in the market at the equilibrium level of exchange, at the equilibrium level of exchange, equilibrium level of exchange. Okay, Dalama. Here highlight these points. Where's a highlight, Lama? Highlighter, no highlighter. This one. Right. Anyway. Highlight these points, Lama. Number one, this is aggregate value. Sanuli, what is mean by aggregate value? The aggregate value.
Total value.
Total value. Aggregate mean total, Lama. Look at the board, Lama. Look at the board, Buddha. Here, when calculating producer surplus, we get the benefit or the total benefits for these all points, Lama. 60, 70, up to equilibrium. Not at one point, Lama. That's called aggregate value. Aggregate value means the benefit, right? The benefit that producer gets from all quantities from 0 to 100, not at one point. Okay, so this is called aggregate. Aggregate means total value, total benefit that producer gets from the market at all prices. Clear or not? That's called aggregate value. Okay, then what is next one, Lama? Aggregate value of the positive differences, Lama. We consider only positive differences, Lama. Example, look at this point, Lama. Here assume, Lama, quantity 120 and equilibrium price 20 rupees, but here the expected price is 25. What does it mean, Lama? How to explain this point? What does this point mean? To supply 120 units, yeah, producer is willing to supply 120 units, but he expects minimum 25. He expects minimum 25, but when he goes to the market, actual price 20. Then it's not positive difference, negative difference. Okay, the Lamai. That negative differences are not considered when calculating surplus, Lamai. On up to only equilibrium quantity. Positive differences. Skalana, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
To supply 120 quantity, he expects minimum 25. But when he goes to the market, actual price, so he can see the product is being sold at 20 rupees. Right? Then at this point, Lama, producer does not have any benefit at all. It's not benefit, it's like a cost. Okay, the Lama. This is the minimum cost, or this is called variable cost of production, Lama. It's been variable cost of production is 25 per unit, but selling price 20 rupees. It means my producer is not able to cover up even variable cost from the product price. Clear the Lama? So it's called negative differences. When calculating producer surplus, negative differences are not taken into account. Clear or not? Okay, the Lama. Dipna?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one, Lamai. Differences between, this is very important one, Lamai. The minimum price. Remember, this minimum price is shown by your supply curve. Minimum prices shown by supply curve, right? that producer is expecting for a product and the actual price. Actual price mean lamai equilibrium price. Actual price mean equilibrium. Okay, the lamai received in the market at the equilibrium level of exchange. We need to calculate this benefit for only equilibrium quantity. Any doubt, Lama? When defining Lama, this time the examiner asks a producer, sorry, consumer surplus, producer surplus. So if examiner asks you to define consumer surplus and producer surplus, your definition should be technically perfect one, right? It should include every point, Lamai, right? Are you okay? Do you need more time, Kalana, Sanuli?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Right. Next one is the equation. Right. Price, quantity, 0. Demand curve, supply curve. Equilibrium price, assume Lamai 20 rupees, quantity 100 units. Here price is, let's say, 10 rupees. Listen. Lamai, which area shows the producer surplus? How to explain that area, Lamai? Area which is below the equilibrium price and above the supply curve. Okay, the Lamai. This one. This is called a producer. Without how to calculate area of this triangle, or this shaded triangle. Yeah, O-level mathematics lamai. Half into base into height neda lamai. Mataka neda. Hari. How to calculate? Dipna, how to calculate area of this triangle lamai? Forget your
Half,
yes, Sudha. Yes, tell me. Yeah.
half into base into perpendicular heights.
Yes, very good. Then lamai, here, look at the board. Here base is how much base is? 20 or 100? Right, anyway, take this distance, Lamai. How much the value of this distance, Lamai? 100, because this value is 100. So 100, sorry, 100, then this distance, okay. Then we have to consider this one, Lamai, this height. How much the value? 10. Alana, how much the value? Here,
10.
10. How did you
10.
calculate 10? 20
Sir,
minus 10.
10.
Yes, then 20 minus 10, then this distance, okay, 100, half mean lamai divided by 2. Then you can make your own equation for calculating producer surplus lamai. 20 means 20. What is the name of for 20 lamai? Which price? Equilibrium price. So you can say equilibrium price minus 10. Kalana, give me a word for 10. What is that?
Minimum supply
Minimum
price.
supply price. Okay, the lamai. Minimum supply price into Sanuli 100.
Equilibrium quantity.
Huh?
Equilibrium quantity.
Equilibrium quantity. Equilibrium quantity divided by divided by 2. This is the equation for calculating producer surplus. Don't try to memorize it, Lamai. Understand the logic. How to calculate producer surplus, Lamai? Equilibrium price minus minimum supply price. into equilibrium quantity divided by, okay, the lamai. Right. Draw the curve and shade the area of producer surplus and write down the producer surplus. There is a box after the graph, below the graph. Hmm? This one. Okay, no need this values. Write down the original equation. Producer surplus equals equilibrium price within bracket, equilibrium price minus MSP lamai minimum supply price. Okay, lamai. Write down the equation. Producer surplus equals lamai. For this diagram, no need scale. Just draw it. Producer surplus equals equilibrium price minus equilibrium price minus minimum supply price into equilibrium quantity divided by 2. This is the equation. This is a prestige part. Prestige. There is another equation. Lamai, remember this equation as well, second one. But the second equation is not much used in this lesson, right? But consumer surplus can be calculated using equation as well. Remember the equation, Lamai? Producer surplus equal producer surplus equal total revenue, Lamai. Total revenue. So what is mean by total revenue? Total income. Total revenue mean total income minus total variable cost. Total variable cost. Total variable. Here, look at the board, Lama. How to calculate total revenue in this example? How much is selling price, Lama? 20 into how many units are being sold? 100. 20 into 100, Lama. Which area shows the total revenue? Kalan, can you shade the area of total revenue? Total revenue means total income, Lama. Right? The selling price 20, quantity 100. Which area shows the total revenue? Sanuli?
Rectangle.
Yeah, it's a rectangle. Very good. This rectangle, Lama. Look at the board. And මෙයා තමයි this 20 mean ළමයි this height into 100. Okay, the ළමයි. So area of this rectangle shows the total revenue. Okay, the ළමයි. Minus total variable cost. ළමයි, total variable cost is shown by the area which is below the supply curve, ළමයි. This one. This is variable cost of production. Okay, the ළමයි. This is the total revenue mean this total area of this total the entire rectangle minus this yellow color one. Then what is the part left? This black one, right? It's been producer surplus. So you can calculate producer surplus using this equation as well. Producer surplus equal total revenue. Total revenue means this the area of this entire rectangle minus total variable cost, which is shown by the area below the supply curve, below supply curve and above this quantity line. Okay, the lemma. Yes. Remember this equation as well. It will be important. Okay, the lemma. Now we are going to practice this equation. Any doubt, Kalana, Sanuli?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Dipna?
No, sir.
Right. Last one. Total surplus or economic surplus. Look at next topic, Lama. Economic surplus. Economic surplus. Economic surplus. Lama, economic surplus means the benefit of both consumers and producers. This means consumer surplus plus producer surplus. Economic surplus means the total benefit gained by consumers and producers at marketing. Okay, the lump. Yes. Economic surplus. Economic surplus mean lamai. Price, quantity, 0. This is demand curve. This is the supply curve. This is equilibrium price and quantity lamai. Assume this P1 and this 1. Consumers benefit or consumer surplus is shown by this triangle, while producer surplus is shown by the triangle which is below the equilibrium price and above the supply curve. Okay, the lamai. This is consumer surplus. This is producer surplus. Both of these surpluses are called, what is that, lamai? Economic surplus. What? Economic surplus. Or we use the word total surplus, lamai. What? Total Okay, the lamai. Economic surplus or total total. Puta, who creates this total surplus? Why do consumers and producers get benefit? Because of equilibrium, Lama. Because of equilibrium. Clear or not? Right. Write down the definition, Lama. Economic surplus. Okay, the Lama. Economic surplus. Write down. Write down, Lama. The sum of consumer surplus and producer surplus. Sum of consumer surplus and producer surplus. Consumer surplus and producer surplus is known as economic surplus. Economic, which shows the total benefit, total benefit gain, total benefit gained by consumers and producers. Consumers and producers. Consumers and producers at the market equilibrium. The market at the market. Hmm? Forget it. Okay, the Laman. Alana, Anuli, Dipna.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Answer.
Right. Kalana. Alana. I done. Right. Right. Okay, Lamai. So this one, there's a separate, no separate one, right? Okay, write down Lamai equation. Economic surplus equals economic surplus equals economic surplus equals consumer surplus plus producer surplus. Alana, are you there? Write down the equation. And Lama, it's better to draw this one also. There's no space given. Small one, yeah. So that draw this curve, sorry, the graph next to the, or you can use a sticky note, Lama. Clear the Lama. There's no specific space for space to show total surplus or economic surplus. You can draw it where you like. Alana, are you there? Or
Yeah, sir, I had a small connection issue.
Alana, here there is no specific, space given. Draw this diagram showing both consumer surplus and producer surplus, and draw it on a sticky note or wherever you like. Okay, Nilama. Right, those who have completed diagram and equation can do 2015 A level paper. 2015 A level paper. Okay, Nilama. Producer surplus over economic surplus. Right, 2015 A level paper plus question Lamai calculate equilibrium price and quantity using equation and show this equilibrium accurately on a graph. You can do it, Lamai. Okay, calculating consumer surplus, sorry, equilibrium price and quantity. Right. 2015 A level paper. Okay, the lamai. First one, equilibrium price and QD equal QS. QD equals 100 minus OP equals QS lamai minus 30 plus 6P. Okay, the lamai. Then 100 plus 30 equals 6P plus 4P lamai. Altogether 10P equals 130 divided by 30 divided by 30. P equals 13 rupees. Okay, lamai. 13. Now calculate equilibrium quantity. QD equals 100 minus OP. QD equals 100 minus 4 into price is 13. QD equals lamai 100 minus 52. QD equals 48 units. This is equilibrium quantity. So that before you draw the original graph, make a small sketch. Then you can know the directions and limit the maximum points, minimum points, everything. Okay, Nalabai. Before that, calculate maximum demand price and minimum supply price. Maximum demand price and minimum supply price. Okay, Nalabai. Right. Maximum demand price. How to calculate maximum demand price? Nalabai. The price at which demand curve crosses price axis. QD equals 100 minus OP. Substitute 0 lamai. Set 0 for QD. 100 minus OP, and this becomes plus 4P equals 100 divided by 4 divided by 4. P equals lamai 25 rupees. Okay, the lamai. Then calculate minimum supply price as well. Minimum supply price equals QS equal minus 30 plus 6P. Set 0. QS minus 30 plus 6P. This becomes plus 30 equals 6P divided by 6 divided by 6. P equals minimum supply price is 5. So, Halana, guess same answers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Then draw a small sketch lamai. Better for you. This graph goes lamai. Here price axis, quantity axis. Intercept of price or intercept of demand curve is 100 lamai. So this axis maximum, how much lamai? No need to take values more than 100 lamai, right? And maximum demand price 25 is your demand curve. Intercept of supply equation is minus 30 here, and minimum supply price is 5. This is your supply curve lamai. Your equilibrium price is 13 rupees and 40. Now you know limitations and maximum minimum. Now you can decide scale. Okay, Sanuli, are you okay? Deepna,
Okay, sir.
finished
Theory.
drawing?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And have you calculated consumer surplus and producer surplus as well?
Doing, sir.
Yes.
I'm calculating.
Okay. Lama, you have exam on 28th, huh? Friday. You have 2 weeks, Lama. Be prepared for that. You have a term test, then you can use that our unit test paper as a help, Lama. Okay, the Lama. Right. Consumer surplus and producer surplus. Lama, when calculating consumer surplus and producer surplus, equations are, it's required, it's compulsory. Quantity, price, demand curve, like curve, equilibrium price 13, quantity 48, here maximum demand price 25. Right, consumer surplus, Lama. Consumer surplus equals maximum demand price minus equilibrium price into equilibrium quantity divided by 2. Okay, the Lama. Maximum demand price is 25 rupees. Maximum price minus equilibrium price is 30 rupees into equilibrium quantity 48 units divided by 2, 1, 24, 24 into 12, 192. Lamai, 192. Remember, Lamai, consumer surplus, producer surplus, both are expressed in terms of monetary value. Monetary value mean Lamai, rupee or dollar, whatever, right? So not units. Next one, Lamai, producer surplus. Producer surplus equal uh, equilibrium price minus minimum supply price into equilibrium quantity divided by equilibrium price is 13 rupees. I have already calculated. Minus minimum supply price is 5 rupees. Equilibrium quantity 48 units divided by 2 as it's a triangle. Am I okay? 2 here 24, 24 into 8. No, here it's not 120, more than that. Here 8 into 24, it's 192. How much value here, Sanuli?
288.
Okay. Twenty-four into 12. 8, 4, 24, 28. 288 lama. Rupees 288. Rupees, huh? Then the last question asks you to show consumer surplus and producer surplus on the graph, right? So shade the area of consumer surplus and producer surplus on your diagram. Okay, Dalama. This is consumer surplus and show them on a diagram. Huh? Consumer surplus Sanuli, are you okay? Done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, good. Dipna,
Done, sir.
good. Kalana,
Done, sir.
right. You can do example number one. One more. Third one. Yes. Yeah. I think you might have taken the original tube, right? The press tube that I sent you, not the updated one. Am I correct, Sanuli?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the group, there's updated one. There are more questions, Lamai. Okay. I have included so many questions. You can download it and do it. Okay, Lamai. Original tube, you can do example number 3 in page number 9. Okay, Lamai. Right. Do it yourself and send me a photo, Lamai. I'll give you 10 minutes. Don't take more than 10 minutes, Lamai. Why? 30. Equilibrium price is 30.
Sir, you said to do example number 3, right?
Example number 3. That this QD equals 1000 minus 25p and
Okay,
QS equals 200 plus 25p. Okay, Lamai. Try to do it fast, Lamai. Now you need to, yeah, keep practicing. Try to reduce time spent. Example number 3. Demand QD equals 1000 minus 25p. QS equals plus 200, not, it's not minus, it's plus 200 plus 25p. Okay, Lama. Calculate equilibrium price and quantity. Then calculate maximum demand price, minimum supply price to draw a sketch. Then you can draw the original diagram. Alan and Deepna, send me a photo after completing the question. So that here minimum supply price should be minus. Be careful when calculating producer surplus. Deepna, how much the equilibrium price? Deepna,
600, sir.
equilibrium price?
Sorry, sir, 60.
16. Okay. Equilibrium quantity?
100 units.
120. Equilibrium quantity, how many units lamai? Kalana?
600 units.
600.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Deepna, did you get 600 for equilibrium quantity?
Yes.
Okay, right. Right. Okay, Lama, equilibrium price and quantity, calculate it. This is a first question. QD equal QS. QD 1000 minus 25p, QS might no plus 200 plus 200 plus 25p. And then Lamai 1000 minus 200 equals 25p plus 25. Kalana, Deepna, send me a photo.
Sir, I sent.
Good. Then here 800 equals 50p divided by 50 divided by 50 p equals how much Lamai? 16 rupees. Right? Then substitute equilibrium, calculated equilibrium price to your demand equation or supply equation, whatever. QD equals 1000 minus 25p, 1000 minus 25 into equilibrium price is 16, 1000 minus 400, then equilibrium quantity is 600 units. Okay, Dalamai. Then draw a small sketch. Before that, calculate maximum demand price and minimum supply. Maximum demand price QD equals 1000 minus 25p, 0, 1000 minus 25p plus 25,000 divided by 25 divided by 5 p equals how much? 40, 40 rupees, right? And minimum supply price equals USC equals 200 plus 25p. 0, 200 plus 25p. This becomes minus 200 lamai equals 25p divided by 25 divided by 25 p equals 8 minus 8. Calculate consumer with the equations. Yes, very good, Kalana. Okay, find it out. Perfect. Dipna, send me a photo, Daru. Our small sketch lama is very simple here. intercept of demand curve 1000, here maximum value 1000, maximum demand price 40, demand curve, minimum supply price is minus, okay, and intercept of supply curve plus 200. This is your supply curve, equilibrium price 16 and quantity. Okay, the lamai. Demand curve. Supply curve has positive intercept. If supply curve has a positive intercept, minimum supply price should be minus, right? It's minus 8. Okay, the lamai. Here it should be minus 16, 600, here 1000, 200, maximum demand price. How much lamai? It's calculate consumer surplus. Yeah, can. Lamai, here consumer surplus and produce at equilibrium, consumer surplus and producer surplus both are equal. But remember, it doesn't mean that in all questions these two values must be equal. No, 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 no. In the accidentally, yeah, it has become equal. That's it. 70, 200, and both are same, right? Yes. Good. Okay, the lamai. Consumer surplus equals maximum demand price minus equilibrium price into equilibrium quantity divided by 2. Equilibrium, sorry, 40 minus equilibrium price 16 into equilibrium quantity 600 units divided by, an answer would be 7,200 rupees. Okay. Producer surplus equals lamai equilibrium price minus minimum supply price into equilibrium quantity divided by 2. Equilibrium price 16 minus, be careful lamai, minimum supply price is minus 8. Okay, the lamai, into equilibrium quantity 600 divided by 2. Here lamai, 16 minus into minus mean plus. 8 into it becomes minus 8 becomes plus 8. 600 divided by 2. So here 24 into 600 divided by 2. How much value am I? 70. Here consumer surplus and producer surplus are equal. But remember, there's no condition that these two values should be equal. Okay, the lamai. Yes. Right. Example number 4. Lama, example number 4 is a different one. Values, I think some values are missing. Lama. Okay. Equations are not given. Now graph equilibrium diagram has been given. Can you complete the diagram, Lama? Kalan, example number 4. Oh, yeah. Going to give values, Lama. Yes. Example number 4. Values are missing, Lama. Price axis, quantity axis, 0. Supply curve. Yeah, Dipna, very good. Answer is correct. Rupees. Consumer surplus, producer surplus, both in must be rupees, Lama. I mean, there should be, it should be monetary value. Should be a monetary value. Yeah, here Lama, equilibrium price given 26 rupees, right? Equilibrium quantity also given 48 units. And here intercept is 100. Intercept is 100. Sorry, minus 30. Sorry. Intercept is minus 30. Here, 100. Okay, the Lamai. These are the information given, Lamai. Not more than that. Right? What are the questions, Lamai? First one. Yeah, derive demand and supply equations for demand and supply. Second one, price, equilibrium quantity, price and coconut, right? It's given. No need to calculate. Third one, consumer surplus. Right. Okay, Lama. I'll give you 10 minutes. It's a different one, Lama. Now, graph has been given. Graph has been given. You need to derive demand and give a try. Derive demand and supply equation, Lama. What is a common or standard form of the common equation of linear demand curve, Lama? QD equals A minus BP. QS equals A plus BP. Based on these common forms, Lamai, derive demand and supply equation based on information given, Lamai, right? Okay. I'm not going to explain how to calculate slope, then calculate intercept. Okay, you can use any method, Lama. Try kar de. Alana, any idea how to derive demand and supply equation? Are you done?
I'm still doing.
Tipna?
Still doing, sir.
Okay, the Lama. What is your name? Puta? Purnika, right? Purna? Purnaka. Remember? Ravindu. Most. Ravindu. In school? School use different one. Okay, the Lama. Right, example Lama QD. QD equals A minus B P lamai. Here, intercept lamai, intercept A, no need to calculate value of A. Why? Intercept given straight away lamai. This is the intercept of demand curve. Intercept mean A lamai. Here QD equals lamai, value of A, how much lamai? 100 minus, we don't know the value of B lamai. It's a different story. But no need to calculate A separately. It's given 100. Then to calculate B, how to calculate B? Kalana?
Delta QD over delta
Yeah,
P.
look at the board there. B equals, yes, delta QD over delta P lamai. Then if you want to calculate slope of this demand curve, you need to have 2 points lamai. 2 prices and quantities, corresponding quantities, right? Look at the board. Then I'm going to take 2 prices, P and QD. First one, equilibrium price, you have equilibrium price lamai. 26, quantity 48. It's mean at equilibrium price lamai. What is mean by equilibrium lamai? At price 26, both QD and QS are equal lamai. How many units? 48. All equilibrium. Then you can take this point lamai. At price 26, how much quantity demand? 48. We need to have another price lamai. You have only 1 point lamai. This is the point. At this point lamai, quantity demand QD, how many units are being demanded at this point? 100. QD is 100. Be careful lamai. Price, price at this point. No. At price, what is the price? The at 100 units lamai. Kalana?
0.
0. Okay, the lamai. This is the quantity at 0 price. Now it's okay. Okay, the lamai. Take the difference. Difference how much lamai here? 52 divided by here change is 26. Then lamai 52 divided by answer is that is it. Good. Okay, the lamai. So your equation is lamai QD equals no need to calculate 100 again lamai. Value of A given 100 minus this is demand equation. Okay, the lamai. Okay, the lamai. Right. Dipna, Kalana, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then supply equation. QS equals A plus BP. Here lamai no need to calculate value of A, it's given. How much the value of A? Oh no, supply. 26. Intercept of supply curve. අයියෝ ළමයි. අද intercept කියන්නේ මෙතන value එකනේ දරුවෝ. -30. Clear the? Here value of A is -30 plus we need to calculate B separately. Okay, the lamai. B equals delta QS over delta P. Delta QS over delta P. Dipna, are you clear on this?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Then take 2 points lamai. Price and quantity supplied. You don't have much points lamai, only 2 points. First one is equilibrium one. Equilibrium price 26 lamai. At 26 quantity supply also. How not 26? 48. 48. Thank you. 48. Other one is lamai this point. At this point, supply minus 30. Supply is minus 30. Price 0. Clear the lamai. Kalana?
Clear, sir.
Yes. Now take the difference lamai. Yes. Here delta P equals 26. Here be careful lamai. Delta QS equals Kalana, how much difference here?
18.
18 the lamai gano avuthude. 18 the daru. Dipna, how much difference? අර මතකද ඔයාලට නම්බර් ලයින් එක ළමයි grade 6. දැන් ඔයා ඉන්නේ මෙතන 0. බලන්න. ඔයා ඉන්නේ -30 වල. හරිද? දැන් ඔයා මෙතෙන්ට එනවා. එතකොට කොච්චරද distance එක ළමයි? ඔයා 30 ඇවිල්ලා plus මෙතන ඉඳන් ආය යනවා කොහෙටද ළමයි? 48 වලට. එතකොට කොච්චරද gap එක ළමයි? Total gap from -30 to 48. 78. Oh ළමයි. 78. Delta QS 78 lamai. Delta QS 78 divided by change in price 26 lamai. 3 neda lamai. Yes. This is slope of supply curve. Okay. Then QS equals lamai minus 30 plus 3P. Now you can do anything lamai. Consumer surplus, producer plus nothing. Alana, Dipna, are you okay?
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay.
Putan, no need to calculate equilibrium price and quantities given. Equilibrium price is 26, quantity 48. You can answer third one. What is third one? Producer surplus and consumer surplus. If you want to calculate producer surplus and consumer surplus, we need to calculate maximum demand price and minimum supply price. Minimum supply price and maximum demand price are required to calculate consumer surplus and producer surplus. No need to draw a graph as we did before. Okay, the lamai. Alana, I done consumer surplus and producer surplus. Alana,
Sir, doing.
still doing. Okay. 100, price 26, quantity 48, here minus 30, right? Calculate consumer surplus lamai. Simple. Consumer surplus equals maximum demand price minus equilibrium price into equilibrium quantity divided by 2. Equilibrium price, sorry, maximum demand, calculate maximum demand price. Maximum demand price equals QD equals 100 minus 2P. Substitute 0. 100 minus 2P. This becomes plus 2P equals 100 divided by 2 divided by 2. P equals how much? 50. Maximum demand price is 50 minus equilibrium price 26 into equilibrium quantity 48 divided by 2. 124, 24 into 24. How much, Lamai? 24 into 20. 500. Okay, the Lamai. Then producer surplus. Producer surplus equals equilibrium price minus minimum supply price to equilibrium quantity divided by 2. Equilibrium price 26 minus, you have to calculate minimum supply price. 10. Right. Minimum supply price equal QS equals minus 30 plus 3P. Substitute 0 minus 30 plus 3P plus 30 equals 3P. P equals 10 lamai. Here minimum supply price is 10. Okay, into equilibrium quantity is 48 divided by, okay, the lamai 124, 24 into 16. Rupees 380. This is producer. Okay, the lamai. Alana, Dipna.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You need more time?
Done, sir.
Done. Dipna?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, Lamai. Practice. That is the only thing you can do. Practice, practice. Keep practicing, Lamai. Right? Okay. Today we discuss consumer surplus. Not consumer surplus. It was done last. Producer surplus, economic surplus, and calculating economic surplus and calculation part. Lamai. Okay, Lamai. Right. Okay. That's enough today. See you on Friday. Okay, Lamai. Right. Bye, Lamai. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Recording